We're Val and Manny of Plant-Based Passport.
Join us as we cook, bake, and eat our way around the world, plant-based style.
Hello! Today we are making salt-toasted tofu. Salt-toasted tofu is a popular dish that can be found at any of the various Vietnamese restaurants here in Houston. However, our introduction to salt-toasted tofu happened at Mai's restaurant. For native Houstonians like ourselves, standing in a line wrapped around the building at 3 a.m. after a night of ratchetness, with you and your homies looking like a hot mess, is something of a rite of passage.
There are currently 80,000 Vietnamese immigrants living in Houston. That's the largest population outside of California. A vast majority of that immigration began after the Vietnam War in 1975. The Federal Refugee Resettlement System designated Houston as a major resettling site for Vietnamese refugees. The warm climate, expanding economy, proximity to the ocean were all factors in designating Houston.
But enough of the factoids, let's get cooking. This is our own original take on salt-toasted tofu. For this recipe, you will need 2 full-sized bell peppers or 6 mini bell peppers, 6 crushed garlic cloves, 1 sliced onion, 1 block of firm or extra firm tofu, 6 to 8 leaves of butter lettuce, which isn't pictured here, 1 sliced tomato, 1 to 2 jalapenos, depending on how spicy you want it, 2 chopped carrots, some neutral cooking oil, half a cup of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and salt and pepper seasoning, which we'll give you the recipe for below. And lastly, green onions to garnish.
To get started, you're going to want to squeeze the water out of your tofu block. A couple of years ago, we bought a tofu press. The tofu press has totally revolutionized and leveled up our tofu game. Before that, we couldn't squeeze enough water out of the tofu block by using the more traditional methods of weighing it down with a heavy object like a book. With the tofu press, we get restaurant quality tofu whenever we fry those suckers up. By the way, this is not sponsored content, but if you want to become a tofu squeezing ninja, check out the link below and get you a tofu press. And here's the tofu press in action. Every couple of minutes you turn the dial on this tofu torturing contraption and squeeze that water out.
After you press your tofu, you're going to cube it up and toss it in a mixture of your cornstarch and half of your salt and pepper seasoning. Then, you're going to shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake that tofu. Next, you want to heat up your pot or pan over medium-high heat. You're also going to want to use a neutral oil here. We're using about half a cup of canola oil for about a shallow fry. We fry our tofu for about 5 to 7 minutes total, or until they reach a nice light golden brown color.
So here's another tip to help you level up your frying game. Pay very close attention. To keep your tofu crispy after you've fried it, don't just place it on some paper towels. Rather, place them on a baking rack over a sheet pan lined with paper towels. This will allow the excess oil to drain off. You can do this with other fried foods.
And now for the vegetables. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil to a pan over medium-high heat. We're going to add our sliced onions and cook them just until they start to turn color. And now we add the carrots. In retrospect, we should have added the garlic at this stage, and we're going to write the recipe below to reflect that. Next, we add all of our peppers. Please disregard me plopping in the garlic at this stage. As I mentioned before, I should have added them with the carrots. I'm also sprinkling in some salt and pepper seasoning. I'm sauteing everything together for about 2 minutes or so. Then I'm adding in the tomatoes. And 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Lastly, I'm adding the salt and pepper seasoning mixture to taste.
The soy sauce, the oil, the juices from the tomato all come together to create a delicious sauce for this dish. When your dish looks something like this, you know it's done. You plate your salt-toasted tofu over a bed of butter lettuce and garnish with green onions. You can serve this dish with plain white jasmine rice, lemon pepper sauce, and sriracha. Yum! Real talk, this is one of our favorite preparations of tofu and one of our favorite Vietnamese dishes. Vietnamese food is one of our favorite cuisines around the world. It's a super easy dish you can whip up on a weekday, and we highly recommend you give it a try.
Thanks for joining us. Let us know if you try this recipe in the comments below.
Tune in every Friday, and we'll see you at our next culinary destination.